In this video, I'm going to be reviewing as well as giving you my personal opinion on the all-new ADAM Audio T7Vs, so stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Adam Ivy, AdamIvy.com. As always, I appreciate you joining me yet again for another video. Now, as I mentioned in the intro of this video is all about just reviewing and mostly giving you my opinion on the brand new ADAM Audio T7Vs. Now, what I'm talking about is these bad boys right here. Now, what these are is a two-way 7-inch home studio monitor that is at an incredible price point. Now, these primarily are going to compare to the Rocket series, the HS series over at Yamaha, some of the JBLs. ADAM Audio is known hands down as being one of the top studio monitor manufacturers in the world, at least in my opinion. I might be a little biased because my name's Adam, but the A7Xs, as well as a few other models that are the higher end models, I've had my eyes on forever. So when they contacted me asking me if I wanted to do an honest opinion of the T7Vs, which are kind of a direct competitor, like I said, with the Rockets or the HS series, which you could see behind me, I am an HS8 owner myself. I said, absolutely, send them by. So shout out to ADAM Audio for sending me these. Now, I've been using these off and on for about a month now. They actually sent these to me late last year, right before the holidays. I got kind of slammed, and now I'm finally able to do an honest review, which I'm glad to be able to do. Now, a lot of you guys roast me on my product reviews, so I'm just giving you a quick disclaimer. This is going to be primarily opinionated. This is going to be perspective driven. This isn't going to be me miking up these studio monitors and trying to do an A/B test so you can hear the comparison on your laptop speakers. It doesn't work that way. These are great monitors for anybody that is looking to upgrade a home studio, anybody that has a smaller space to work in, but we're going to get to that in a second. All right, guys, so as you can see behind me, my primary speakers in my home studio are the Yamaha HS8s. I've loved them. I think that they're one of the best monitors on the market for the price. But guess what? Not everybody can afford that price, because that price is $350. Now, even if you bump it down just a little bit and get the HS7s, it's still $300 a piece. Now, for the money, I think that they're great buys, but I think that ADAM came in and snuck into that price point, dialed it down a little bit, and gave an even better monitor option. Now, the T7Vs are $250 a piece. And the thing I like about them the most is they're flat when it comes to the mid-tone and bass response. And then that tweeter, that ribbon tweeter that ADAM Audio is known for, I'm going to show it to you right here. What we're talking about here is ADAM Audio's proprietary ribbon tweeter. Now, as you can see in the background on the HS8s, that's not a ribbon tweeter. That's more of a traditional, I guess they would call it a cone tweeter. Again, this isn't a super technical review. I'm just giving you my perspective on these things. Now, if someone were to come to me and say, Adam, I have $500 for my upgrade or for my initial purchase of my home studio speakers, monitors, whatever you want to call them, this would be what I would recommend. And it's not because they sent them to me for free. It's not because I have an infatuation with the higher-end ADAM Audio speakers. It's because I think that they made a really, really good quality speaker that they could have just put on the market straight away at the exact same price as the HS7s. But strategically, they didn't. They charged a little bit less. You can get two of these for $500. If you're looking at sales at places such as Guitar Center or Sweetwater, whatever, I would go as far as to say that you might be able to get them for a little bit less than that. Now, what I really like, as I just mentioned, is the high frequency response, and the mids and lows are very flat. They're underwhelming slightly. In a room this big, they pound. They don't pound as much as the HS8s. I'm just going to put that out there, but you can't expect a 7-inch woofer to perform the same as an 8-inch woofer. So if I compared these directly with HS7s, which one of my buddies do have the HS7s, you just saw him in a recent video, Jay Kanan, I think we could get a more direct comparison, but that's not what this video is about. I want you to keep that in mind. This video is about the recommendation of what you would spend $500 on when it comes to upgrading your studio. Now, I'm going to put this down. The T7V is an amazing monitor for $500. I've seen lesser monitors, including the Rocket series. I do not personally care for the Rocket series, and I'm saying that from experience. I've had the Rocket 5s, I've had the Rocket 8s in the past, and I've never really liked them. In fact, I kind of hated them the entire time I used them. Now, they had a time and a place, they had a purpose, and that's really what this video is about. The T7Vs for $500 are going to be your absolute best bet. Now, I could go in here and in fact, I'll do that right now. I'll put the specifications up on the screen as if they mean anything. You know, as music creators, as producers, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are going to be audiophiles, and they're going to compare this little difference, this little differentiator in frequency response and this and that. What it really boils down to is how the fuck do they sound in a home studio that's in a spare bedroom of a house, or your apartment in a bedroom studio? How do they sound? I could sit here and rattle off the specs that are on the screen right now and show you pretty B-roll of these things all day, but what do I genuinely feel about these? Now, I'm going to tell you some cons that I don't like about them. I'll pick it back up. Now, as you can see on the back, they sent me like a demo pair. I think somebody else probably reviewed these, even though I get to keep these. The one thing I do not like about these monitors is that there's no clicky clacks when it comes to this adjustment. Now, you can go to 0, it's the leveler. Home studio monitors are very similar across the board when it comes to the basic settings on the back of entry-level monitors like this. The build quality is fantastic. ADAM Audio, you did an incredible job with these. These definitely look like higher-end monitors, even though the price point is kind of at a sweet spot. Now, they have, you know, minimal adjustment when it comes to the low frequency and the high frequency tweaks, plus and minus 2 dB on both of them, as you can see here, and those click very nicely. But this, you just have to eyeball. Now, the great thing, I will kind of stand up for ADAM Audio when I say that once you set these, they're not going to move unless you are in a, you know, highly trafficked earthquake environment. I'm joking, but once you set these, you're going to be good to go. You'll be able to eyeball them. And obviously XLRs, I mean, these are standard home monitors. I like the way they look. You know, the one thing I don't like about them, as I've seen in other reviews on YouTube, is that they don't have any they don't have any indicator light on the front to let you know when they're on. They do have a light in the back. However, you don't see that. Now, I have a channel strip over here that I have my monitors plugged into. So if I turn this off, you can see the lights and my monitors turn off, including my preamp compressor over here. So I don't really have that problem, because when I shut down my studio, I turn all of my power strips off. I have one on both sides, so my monitors would be off. But for somebody that has a more minimal setup, I could see how that would be a little bit annoying, not knowing if your monitors are on or off. When you leave the room, you might forget, because that light is a great indicator for needing to turn the light off when you leave a room. All right, so something else that popped into my head after I just stopped that take was the fact that these ones are a lot more tolerable when you crank it up than the HS8s. The HS8s, I'm always afraid that, I mean, I'm in a standalone house and I'm afraid my neighbors are going to call the cops on me when I really have them cranked. And with these, I could have it cranked up. I could feel the punch of the bass. I could feel those midtones without feeling like the neighbors are going to be able to hear them. It doesn't resonate as much. It doesn't shake the walls as much as the HS8s. Now, granted, it's a 7-inch woofer, like I mentioned earlier, but I just felt like these were punchier, they were flatter, they were more accurate when it came to the high end. And just straight out of the box, I didn't have to adjust my ears too much to say, you know what, I can get a clean mix out of these. Now, another thing that I want to talk about real quick that I mentioned earlier in the video is that the T7Vs are beautiful. Aesthetically, these look professional for $250. There's a lot of other monitors in the mix. I'm not going to name names because I'd be happy to do reviews on them as well, but they don't look professional. They have cheesy, bright colored woofers. They have rounded bodies that are like automotive paint looking. They look cheap. What we as music producers want to establish and want to build as far as a home studio goes is a professional look. We don't want somebody coming in and looking like we bought everything from Walmart or Target. We want to be taken seriously, which also commands more money as far as mixing, as far as the perception of people that come in or buy from you. All right, guys, so in closing, I just want to reiterate one more time that ADAM Audio was very generous in sending me the T7Vs, but they didn't pay me anything aside from that for doing this review. They said that they wanted an honest review. They're like, look, give pros, give cons, be honest with your audience. We wouldn't want it any other way, because honestly, ADAM has monitors that are 15 times better than these, but they understand that these give you guys They enable us as music producers at home that are getting started with a budget. They enable us to be able to get into the ADAM Audio brand when in the past we wouldn't be able to afford it, because the A7Xs and the A7XTs or whatever they're called, they're very, very expensive and they go up from there. So I think ADAM Audio, you killed it. Lucas over at ADAM Audio, shout out for sending me these. I look forward to working with you more in the future. Hopefully I can get some A7Xs, because I would replace the HS8s with the A7Xs because they're that much better, in my opinion. Have some buddies who have them in their studio. I love them. Anyway, guys, I hope that you found this review helpful. Before you start bashing me in the comments below, I'd like to hear how I could be better serving you guys with reviews like this. As I mentioned earlier in the video, it's incredibly hard to give you guys live demos of something like a studio monitor, because even if I mic them up and I make sure that the audio frequencies or the audio signals and the files are super clean in HD, a lot of you guys are listening to these on earbuds. A lot of you guys are listening to these videos on a phone. In fact, there's a statistic out that more than 80% of YouTube videos are played from a phone. So me taking all this time and effort to try to mic up monitors, it just wouldn't work. And I hope you guys can understand that. When I'm giving you my opinion, it's from the heart. Anyway, guys, I hope that you found value in this video. I hope that this opinion, I hope that this review helped. If you have any other questions about the I was gonna say A7Xs, but the T7Vs, leave that in the comments below. And you know what? I'm gonna respond to those questions. I'm gonna continue to use these, and honestly, I don't think that I'm going to replace my HS8s with them, just because the HS8 I've been using for so long that I'm not really looking to upgrade unless it was like a Focal or a Genelec or an A7X or a higher end. But these are absolutely awesome. In fact, if I was to set up a mobile rig, if I was to set up, not a mobile rig as far as like toting these things around, and I say these because it's right here. I'll hold this for the rest of the video. These are great. If I was getting started again, if I was updating or upgrading from like a Rocket 5, this would be bad ass. T7Vs, check them out. Links will be in the description box below. I appreciate you watching. I'm hopefully providing you guys with value in a review like this. Shout out to ADAM Audio one more time for sending me these. I appreciate you watching the video. If you haven't yet, I invite you to subscribe to the channel by clicking that little button over there. And if you want to become a BFF, if you want to become part of the channel family here, I invite you to click that little bell icon so you can be notified first anytime I upload a video just like this. All my contact information, as always, will be in the description box below. And until next time, you can find me at ADAMIV.com.